Monday message. Nice to have you with us today. It's going to be a busy week. I know it's a holiday week, but nonetheless, we're going to get a lot done this week. I know. We're going to talk today about the importance of selling with purpose, and and really what that means is having a life with purpose, finding our purpose in life, and living our life with purpose. We're going to talk about those things in a little more detail. The reason why this is important is because during the holiday season, it can be very easy for us to get distracted by all the things that are going on. We travel a lot, or maybe we have a lot of family events and things that can really interfere with our normal routine. And it can get to a point where we can forget what our purpose is. Our purpose when we're at work is to provide services to the folks that need them. Folks need life insurance. They need help with their life insurance. If we're not careful, though, we can kind of get out of our routine and get out of our stop remembering what our purpose is and just kind of go through things in a very kind of routine-oriented way, and we're not really accomplishing anything. I'll give you an example of how this happened to me not too long ago. I was talking with a client, reviewing their policy that I helped them with about a year ago. They needed to get some beneficiaries updated. They wanted to change their address. And I kind of ended the conversation with just doing those two things for them. I had not reviewed the policy and whether it was still working for them, whether they needed more coverage. I kind of forgot what it was I was doing because I was just kind of getting into a habit, into a routine, and forgetting what the purpose of my appointment was. Well, that can happen to us in our personal life too, but we're going to talk about how it can happen to us in our secular life and then how we can kind of resolve that. I think the important thing to remember first, folks, is to have a morning routine, a schedule, something that we do to kind of focus our mind that day on that day's activities. So what I do is I wake up at 5:45 in the morning. I set my alarm. That helps me to do that. And my little dog also helps me to wake up at 5:45 because she wants to get up and play. And so that's what I do. I get up at 5:45, I make myself some coffee. I sit down and I play with her for a little bit. I make sure she's got her food. But then I sit down and focus on myself for a little while. And I do two things. I read. First, I read from God's Word every day, 15, 20 minutes or so. And then I also read something secular that's kind of focused on our industry and life insurance, just to kind of, get my mind working too along, what it is I'm going to be accomplishing that day, make sure I have, my brain fully functioning, ready for the activity of the day. I also learn new things, and I can use those new things to help the clients that I meet with that day or that week. So that's an important thing. First things first. I got to take care of that before I get anything else done. Then after that, I go and get some exercise. I go to the gym. Planet Fitness and I are friends. I go over there and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I get a workout in. On Tuesday and Thursday, I do some cardio, usually do some trail running. And that kind of also, adds a lot of purpose and clarity to my life because now I'm awake, right? I'm alert. I'm ready then when I sit down to work to actually work, and I'm not distracted by other things. I've gotten those important things done first. That's very important, folks. If we're going to do anything in life, if we're going to have some success, some purpose, we've got to get clarity. And it's got to start with a good morning routine. If we're going to level up, if we're going to get more serious, if we're going to produce more, we can't just, allow ourselves to be like a rudderless ship, just kind of floating through the ocean, getting tossed about by the waves, accomplishing nothing. That can happen if we don't take control ourselves with our routine that day. So that's very important first. We don't want to sacrifice our soul, our family life, but we do want to make sure that we set aside some time for ourselves in order to be productive. So that morning routine is so, so important. And then I'm ready. Then I can sit down and I can turn my computer on and I can make sure that I'm doing my work. I think throughout the day, what was it that I read about today or thought about this morning when I started my day that will help me to be focused, that will help me be where I want to be versus where I am. I also need to decide who I don't want to be any longer and who I want to be in the future. Sometimes that means, like I mentioned before, waking up early. Sometimes it means sacrificing things that are just really not that important, like Netflix. I enjoy sitting down and watching a movie with my wife and my little dog all the time. I enjoy doing that, but not to the detriment of other things in life that are much more important to me and to my family. So the morning routine is the foundation, but I have to build on that throughout the day. I have to make good decisions throughout the day and be purposeful about my work. And then when I'm working, I'm focused. I'm not getting up and getting distracted by the laundry or the dishes in the dishwasher or doing other things. I'm focused about, on my work because my philosophy has always been, maybe you can relate to this. My philosophy has always been, I have only so many hours a week I'm going to work because I want to do other things that are very important to me, like spending time with family, for example. But in those hours I'm working, I am going to make the most money I can in the amount of time I have to work. At first, I thought that was like $1,000 a day. Well, now it's gone up from that. It's a couple of or $3,000 a day. But I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to do the best I can within the amount of time I have, and that then gives me a lot of focus, realizing that that's my purpose in life. Okay, that day, the time I set aside for work. But then when I'm not working, when I'm doing other things that are important to me, well, see, I enjoy those things so much better now because I did what I needed to do first. And now I can really enjoy that time that I'm spending on other things that are important, like spending time with family and celebrating their successes and the like. So let's keep focused on that, guys. Make sure that you have a morning routine. Set aside some meditation, purposeful meditation. Don't just clear your mind of mundane things or outside influences, but focus your mind on productive and helpful things, positive thoughts. Uh, like I mentioned, for me, that's Bible reading and reading something secular that will help me with my work. Maybe for you, it's some kind of maybe a self-help resource you like to use, or some encouraging YouTube videos that you find very educational and informative. Maybe it's talking to a loved one that's just a really good mentor or a close friend. Whatever the case, tap into those things. And then what you'll find is when you're actually doing your work, you're more purposeful. You won't forget why it is you're doing these things. You'll reach your goals, you accomplish your goals. And many people will realize how purposeful you are, and you'll have a positive effect on their life. They'll want to do the same things you're doing. They'll want to imitate your example and be purposeful as well. And what will happen? Better success, better results in our secular work, and we'll be a lot happier. All right, guys, hope that's helpful this week. I know it's a holiday week, but let's not forget what our purpose is. Let's not forget to do our work. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week on the next Monday.